Welcome to the CHC Wrap Up Show. We're here in Belton, Texas at the Bonanza Cutting that just finished up here. And it's been a great show. Started out a little bit wet, a little bit cold, but things dried out. The sun's been out. The cows have been a little bit testy here, but overall it's been a really good cutting. Lots of great runs, lots of big time horses here, and so it was good to see everybody show up and support this show at the new location. Some changes this year. The open division now has an intermediate level here, which is basically it doesn't have a cap, but any rider that hasn't won over $200,000 in the last 2 years is eligible for the intermediate here. So we saw some big names come into that division and show and do quite well here. Then the novice here is also, every show is a little bit different, but the novice class here for both the 4-year-old and the 5-6-year-old is counted on weekend money only. So that means pretty much all the horses are eligible, just a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, it goes by weekend money. So if those horses hadn't won over, I believe it was $25,000 here, then they were eligible for the novice. So that saw some pretty big entries here as well, as people are starting to figure out that their horses are eligible for that. In the 4-year-old open, it was Matt Miller taking full advantage of the last hole draw on Hit That Flow, owned by he and his wife Megan. Matt scored a 221.5 to win that division by just half a point. They collected $23,676.80 for the open win. They also were the champions in the novice, adding another $5,500 there, so bringing their earnings on Hit That Flow up to $29,186. Matt was also third in the 5-6-year-old on Carolina Rain, and had another finalist in the 4-year-old Tough New Cadillac, owned by Blakely Colgrove. So his total earnings for the week, $44,148. Not a bad week for the Matt Miller crew. So great to see that. The reserve champion in the 4-year-old was Rodrigo Taboga, riding Sanctus with a 221. That one's owned by Scott Durham, and they collected $18,941.50 for that reserve championship. So in the 5-6-year-old open, Matt Gaines came out on Metallic Drifter, owned by Rock Creek Ranch, scored a big 223, winning $15,820. They also won the gelding championship as well as the $25,000 novice championship, bringing their total earnings for that win to $22,681. So it was a great night for Matt Gaines and Jim Van Gilder and Marcia at the Rock Creek Ranch. Reserve champion was Smiley, Mr. Jesse Lennox with a 221 on Metallic Curveball, owned by the Rocking P Ranch. They were also the gelding reserve champions, bringing their total earnings to $12,656.30. Jesse had three total finalists, and his total winnings for the day in the 5-6-year-old was $20,397. So they had a pretty good outing here in the 5-6-year-olds. In the 5-6 Intermediate Open, the champion was Steve Olaf, 222 on USS Tucker, owned by Sweet Blessings Ranch, LLC. They won $9,603. Steve was also a finalist on Never Too Soon, owned by Starseed Land and Cattle, winning another $3,200. So Steve-O's total earnings right at $18,663. They did quite well there in the intermediate. Reserve champion in the intermediate was Armando Costanetto with a 221 on Bill O'Reilly, owned by Facenda Barinia Corporation, winning $8,000. And then in the 4-year-old intermediate open, the champion was Jody Gallion, the legend himself. 216 on Little Miss Jackson, owned by Thomas Humphreysville, winning $10,197.70. The reserve champion in the 4-year-old intermediate was Armando Costanetto again, 212.5 this time on Shady Little Smooth, owned by Facenda Barinia Corporation, winning $7,980. Armando had several finalists in the intermediate division and in the open, and his total earnings for the show were $25,963. So great to see him have some success down here and take advantage of those intermediate classes that helped them out too. So well, in the non-pro 4-year-old, there were two familiar faces coming right off their co-championship at the NCHA Futurity just a month or two ago. This time, Kristen Gallion barely edged out Brandon Westfall. She rode Courageous to a 218, owned by Glover Gallion Partnership, winning $13,471. Like I said, Brandon was a close second, 217 on I Reckon So, owned by Russ and Janet Westfall. He won $10,777. So Pretty consistent, those two. It's going to be fun to watch them go head to head throughout the year. The non-pro horse of the year race, obviously they were tied coming into this. Now Kristen's nudged ahead just by a few points now. So that's going to be fun to watch and see if they actually chase some points down there and see how it goes. In the 5-6-year-old non-pro, the champion with a 224 was Mr. Todd Quirk once again on Race Style and Smooth. Todd's coming hot off his Ike Derby championship there, and he won another $7,380 here. Race Style and Smooth is owned by he and Elizabeth and the 1027 Ranch, so congratulations to them. In the 5-6-year-old non-pro, the reserve champion with a 221 was Code Blue, and that one's ridden and owned by Ali Good. She won $5,904.34 in that one. She was your 2019 non-pro world champion. So Ali, she's having some success in the age events this year, and we look forward to seeing what she gets done. Well, that wraps it up for all the open and non-pro results here at Belton for the Bonanza Cutting. We're going to throw it over to Lauren Middleton with all the amateur results. Lauren?
Thanks, Mark. Now we're going to go into the amateur results for the 2020 Bonanza Cutting. Today was all amateurs all day. It was their finals day. And first to go was the 4-year-old 50,000 amateur, where we had co-champions Mr. Alan Scott aboard Miss Metallic Rose and Mr. James Hooper aboard Plain Metallic, both marked a 213 for that co-championship. Then we went into the Classic Unlimited Amateur, where none other than Mr. Langston Patillo marked a 224 aboard Miss Lacey. He was last in that herd, so pretty good in the last whole draw. And then Miss Andrea Sutton, she continued her winning streak, marking a 216 aboard Wicked Metal for that reserve championship. Then we went into the Derby Unlimited Amateur, where Tracy Shahady also continued her winning streak, marking a 219 aboard her Futurity champion, Once in Love. And then reserve champion was Aaron Russell, riding Tough Caddy Duel, marking a 211. To finish out our day and also our show, Miss Jessica Floyd marked a 216 aboard Smooth Little Kit Kat. And she also finished out the day. She was the very last entry for today. And then reserve champion was Miss Austria Arnold, marking a 211 aboard her new horse, Catabout Houston. So congratulations to all of these competitors, all of these finalists. We are really looking forward to next year's show. They did such a great job, and we want to thank the Crumplers, as always, for doing such an amazing job with the Bonanza. So thank you, and back to you, Mark.
Thanks, Lauren. Well, that wraps it up here for the Bonanza. We are getting ready to head to the Arbuckle and then also back to the World's Greatest Horseman to see how that unfolds. So stay tuned to CHC Live Scoring. Keep up with everything that's going on.